construction site roared with the sounds of progress, the rumble of cement mixers, the clang of steel, and the rhythmic shouts of workers under the burning afternoon sun. Amid the chaos, one figure stood out, a man in an elegant navy blue suit, his shoes too polished for the dusty ground beneath him. His name was Richard Hale, a man whose empire of glass towers reached the clouds, a millionaire known for power, precision, and perfection. But on that day, something shattered his composure. As he surveyed the site, his gaze locked on a young woman kneeling beside a pile of cement bags. Her clothes were worn, her hands calloused, her hair tied loosely under her helmet. Yet none of that mattered. Richard froze, because the face beneath that layer of dust looked exactly like the daughter he had buried 7 years ago. For a moment, time itself stopped. The sounds of the world faded into silence. His chest tightened, and the breath caught in his throat. It couldn't be her. And yet every movement, every glance, every quiet spark of determination mirrored his lost child. If you believe that love can cross even the distance of time and fate, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles, where stories of hope remind us that miracles still happen. Haunted by what he saw, Richard found himself returning to the site day after day. The girl's name was Mira, a 23-year-old laborer who carried bricks, mixed cement, and smiled through exhaustion. There was a kindness in her, a quiet strength that made others respect her without words. Each time he watched her, fragments of memory resurfaced. A little girl with paint on her fingers, chasing him through their rose garden, laughter echoing through a mansion that now stood silent. And then came the storm. Dark clouds gathered over the unfinished towers, wind howling through the steel. Workers scattered for shelter, all except Mira. She stayed behind, trying to cover the supplies from the rain. Watching from his car, Richard felt panic flood his chest. Without thinking, he ran through the mud toward her. Together, they fought the wind to pull a tarp across the equipment. When their hands met, he saw it again. Those same ocean blue eyes that once looked up to him with love. His heart broke open as tears mixed with rain. Later that night, unable to rest, he asked his assistant to investigate her past. The next morning, the truth struck like lightning. Mira had been found near a crashed car years ago, with no memory of who she was. No family. No records. Nothing before that accident. Richard's hands trembled as he read the report. The same year. The same age. Could it be that the world had given him a second chance? He invited her to his office the next day. Mira sat quietly, nervous, as he gently asked about her past. She lowered her eyes, tears glistening. "I don't remember anything," she whispered. "Just waking up in a hospital alone." That night, Richard ordered a DNA test, a desperate act of hope. Days later, as dawn broke over the city, an envelope landed on his desk. His fingers shook as he opened it. 99.9% match. Mira was his daughter. Alive. He rushed back to the site, eyes wet with disbelief. When he saw her serving tea to the workers, he called her name, voice trembling, heart bursting. She turned, startled, and in that single moment, truth bridged 7 years of grief. He told her everything, the memories, the accident, the loss. Mira's tears flowed freely as he showed her the photographs, the home, the life she once had. Then she dropped the tray, ran into his arms, and wept. And for the first time in years, Richard held his daughter again. The workers watched silently, not knowing the story, but feeling the weight of something divine. In the weeks that followed, Mira moved into her father's home. Together, they began to rebuild what time had broken. Richard later sold one of his biggest projects to start a foundation, the ALA Hope Fund, helping orphans find families, love, and belonging. And every evening, when Mira visited the garden to paint, Richard would sit nearby, smiling through quiet tears, knowing that miracles aren't always found in temples or prayers. Sometimes they're found on dusty roads, hidden in faces we never expected to see again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles, because some stories remind us that even after loss, love finds a way back home.